those are the ingredients we're going to be using in a minute. Today we're making, well, first we've got to make the marinade for it. To let it marinate for a couple hours, then you're good to go. Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com, guys. Always a pleasure to have you in the kitchen here with me. Today we're doing, and there's been a lot of requests for this one. Some people don't have an outside barbecue or grill. They don't like to do the oven thing during the summer months when it's hot in the house and you've got the air conditioning going. Today we're going to do a jerk chicken. Well, we're going to do some jerk chicken drumsticks on the stovetop. The longest part here is to marinate it. After that, good to go very fast. So here we go. Stovetop jerk chicken. You're going to love it. You'll need a food processor or a blender. In my case, I'm using a Magic Bullet, and I have a container here. And in that container, I've got a 1/4 cup of vinegar and a 1/4 cup of apple juice. Apple juice is not traditional to jerk marinade, but I love the fruitiness of it. If you want, you can use some orange juice, but that's totally up to you. I'm using apple juice a little bit different. One fairly large onion that I chopped up, diced up. And you don't need to be too precise in the chopping because we're just doing that so it's a lot easier for the food processor to break it down. A couple cloves of garlic, and I'll have all the ingredients listed in the description of the video below, or you can check out CaribbeanPod.com for that. Some brown sugar, a few slices of fresh ginger, some scallions, and you could already imagine the nice flavors we're building here. Some cinnamon and nutmeg. Of course, we'll need salt because this is going to marinate the chicken in, so obviously we're going to need some salt. And I've got here pimento berries, also known as allspice. So if you can't get the pimento berries as I have here, you can certainly use ground allspice. Those are going to go in there. Some olive oil, black pepper, soy sauce. I've got some fresh thyme here. That's going to give that a rough chop before I put it in my food processor here. Caribbean Sunshine Scotch bonnet peppers, no seeds because, well, it depends. If you want this with a good kick, use the seeds. I'm not using any of the seeds, and I'm going to use about half of a Scotch bonnet pepper here. These ones are very lethal. I've tested it myself. And the juice of half a lemon. All I'm going to do now is blitz this. It's a cross between puree and blitz. Oh well. I'm going to blitz this in my food processor, and then we're going to marinate that chicken drumsticks. I've got my drumsticks in here, and I use half of a lemon to wash it out. It's nice and dry, cool water. Drained it dry, so these are already washed and good to go. There we go. We've got that marinade. I'm just going to open that up now. You won't believe the lovely scent we're getting from this. Boy, oh boy. Just going to pour that marinade all over this. And don't be afraid to get in there with your hands. Work it in nicely. Put some plastic wrap over it. Put it in the fridge to marinate for at least 2 hours. Typically, guys, I would recommend using a non-stick skillet at this point, so you'll totally avoid having to use any oil. I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil here. So the very first thing we want to do is to add some color to the marinated meat. Remember, we've had that chicken, those drumsticks marinating for a couple of hours now. All you're going to do is shake off the marinade and pretty much add them to the pan. Now remember, we're using 3 pounds of chicken, so you want to ensure that your pan is big enough for the amount of chicken that you have. All the chicken pieces are in my saucepan, or my fairly deep skillet that I have here. I'm just going to keep flipping them over every couple of minutes. You want them to brown, well, take on some color on all sides. Then after that, we're going to slowly cook it so we get all the way to the bone nice and tender. Now that we've got some lovely color on it, it took me about close to 10 minutes to get some nice color on here. We're going to add now, I've got 1 tablespoon of honey. Just going to drizzle that all over this. And it's going to help balance off any of the heat from that Scotch bonnet pepper. We also need a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. Yes, this is a little bit different than your typical jerk, but trust me on this, this is going to be wicked. Here is the remaining marinade, the same bowl that I marinated the chicken in. I just reserved that from there, took it back from there. Also going to hit him with the juice of half of a lemon. That's really going to brighten this up. Make sure you don't get any of the seeds in there. And the final thing, because we want these drumsticks to cook all the way through and get nice and fully cooked and tender and juicy and everything else, I've got here 1 cup of chicken stock. Bring that up to a boil, then we're gonna get it going in a rolling boil because we want to really cook that chicken and infuse it with all those lovely jerk flavors. It's come up to a boil now, so all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the lid on there, turn my heat down to low, and let that gently simmer for about 20 minutes. It's been going now for about 20 minutes. The last 5 minutes I removed the lid off there just for that gravy to thicken up. Here's where you're gonna personalize this. Taste it for salt, add more if you want. And additionally, my daughters, they're very, very into sauce and gravy. They always want gravy with everything. So I'm going to leave this with quite a fair amount of gravy in there. So I'm going to turn my heat off because that's fully cooked now. But you can certainly cook that all the way down. It's going to go nice and sticky and lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm just going to top it up with some fresh chopped parsley. That is optional. But there you go, guys. Stovetop jerk chicken. I mean, I say you won't get that smoky taste from the pimento wood and all that. But hey, if you ain't got a grill and you ain't got the pimento wood, this is the way to go. So there you go, guys. Stovetop jerk chicken. I hope you guys give this one a try. It is so easy, so tasty. You're gonna love it. Remember, do check out CaribbeanPot.com for this and other great recipes. Tell your friends and have a great day.